When I see a Lanvin for under £15, I just find it really difficult to resist them. And I'm sure I'm not the only person who've noticed that this Le Fleur de Lanvin range have been really, really cheap everywhere. I've seen them on Latino and I've seen them on makeup.uk and a couple of other places as well, and they've all been really, really affordable. Even the 100ml bottles seem to be kind of 20 quid and under, but obviously I can't, there's nowhere I can go to smell these. I couldn't get any samples, and because I think the most expensive one here was maybe £15. So I just thought, I'm going to buy them, I'm going to see how I feel about them, and therefore I'll go for them in the smaller bottles, even if, it's only a couple of quid more for the big one. Like, let's keep it small. I'm trying to be a bit more sensible in that way. But I normally really like Lanvin perfumes. I like the kind of musk they use. I often just find them really light, easy to wear, really easy reaches, really good if you're a bit fussy like me. I love Modern Princess. Eclat d'Arpège is amazing. I love Jeanne. But I recently got, and you'll have seen it in one of my previous hauls, I bought Mon Eclat. From that's part of the Arpège range as well, and I just hated that perfume. It was so sharp to me. I think the musk in it was really screechy. I couldn't get on with it. So I was a little bit more apprehensive about these, but I thought, right, I'm just going to see what they're like. I'm just going to have a go. So the boxes are beautiful, as you can see. So I might just push the others to this side and I'll move them along as I go. So let's start with Water Lily. Water Lily, this is the one that I thought I was the least likely to really enjoy, but so many people described it as like a lovely, easy reach, like super nice, really gentle, kind of soapy, and that's my vibe. So I thought, right, okay, let's give this a try. Now, shall we talk about these gorgeous bottles for a second? That's part of what attracts me to this, is these absolutely beautiful bottles. Really lovely. Just so pretty. And definitely, if any of these are going to stay, which you will find out in a moment, they will go in my little display bit, because I think they're really classy and beautiful. They have the Lanvin logo on the top of the mother and child. So, Water Lily. I'm going to just spray this onto a little tester to remind myself. I have tested all of these on my skin, but they haven't had full day's wear tests, so bear in mind that these are my first impressions at the moment. So let's just make sure that this is in focus, because it's too beautiful not to be. The notes for Water Lily are top notes of pink grapefruit and pomegranate, middle notes of water lily and water jasmine, base notes of musk and sandalwood. So this definitely has a clean, soapy vibe about it. And I would say that if you like kind of clean in a slightly laundry detergent-y kind of way, slightly floral, just like a really easy, clean girl wear. So things like JLo Glow, or I'm just trying to think of some of the other more soapy classics. Maybe some of the Philosophy perfumes, some of the clean perfumes. With just a hint of sweetness, a hint of fruit, but there's quite a lot of Water Lily in this. And I personally find this one a little bit sharp and a little bit screechy. In fact, it actually reminds me of a not quite so aggressively sharp and screechy Mon Eclat, which is the one that I'm decluttering because I just couldn't wear it. It just was instantly headache inducing. This one's softer. It's not quite as sharp to me. It doesn't feel quite as screechy, but I feel like maybe there's the same musk in this perfume as there was in that one. But this one is pretty. I can deal with this one, but it's just a little bit too... It's too clean in a sharp way. I quite like soapy, like bar soaps. This one's a bit too shampooey and that kind of clean. Slightly soapy, detergenty smell, but a very easy reach if you like that kind of thing. I think this will depend on skin chemistry. On me, it did bring out a slight sweetness that suggests there might be some vanilla in here that isn't listed, but it wasn't enough for me to really enjoy it. So this is probably not one that I particularly want to keep because I'm not mad for it, but I do think it's pretty. It's not, let's be real, it's not massively original, and to be honest, none of these are particularly original, but it's cute, you know. I think that that will appeal to some people quite a lot. So that's Water Lily. Let's put that beauty over there, and let's have a look at Sunny Magnolia. So again, gorgeous box. They're just so pretty. I can't remember how much this was. One of them I think was only £11, which is just so cheap. So cheap for Lanvin, you know. Okay. I went through some crazy phases with this one because, let me just spray it out. This smells like heaven to me when I first spray it. So this is Sunny Magnolia, absolutely beautiful. Another gorgeous bottle, gorgeous colour. I can smell it. Delicious, peachy, apricot-y. There's something so magical about this, and it is reminding me of something from my childhood. I think maybe it might be fuzzy peach, but then I was also thinking out from the Body Shop. Then I was wondering if it was maybe exclamation, but I haven't smelled exclamation for so long that I can't really remember what that smells like. But there's something so amazing about this. When I first sprayed it, I was like, should have got the big bottle of this. Oh my god, it's delicious. So the notes here are top notes of apricot and mandarin orange, middle notes of Chinese osmanthus and jasmine, base notes white musk and vanilla. Now, as this dries down, it starts to smell much more powdery and laundry detergenty and soapy. So I can't quite put, if I say this, I don't want to put people off by saying this, but it did give me a kind of fizzy feel that reminds me a little bit of Shake and Vac. The more it dried down, the more it started to smell. It started to remind me of that sherbety smell you get with the citrus Shake and Vac, you know, the carpet freshener thing. But here's the thing, I love the smell of Shake and Vac. I love the smell of carpet fresheners. I like that general kind of slightly weird, fizzy, fruity, clean, soapy smell. If there's enough sweetness in it to make it sherbety rather than sharp. And that's what's going on here. Again, probably another one that's going to smell really different depending on your skin chemistry, but there's something magical about this that I love. There's also something about it that makes me think it might not be particularly easy to wear compared to the other two. But I am also really looking forward to being in the right mood to wear this for a full day because, yeah, I mean, definitely when I first spray it, I think it's the musk. I think there's white musk in both of these. And I think sometimes the musk from Lanvin, it's turning out that if it's mixed with things that I particularly like or the blend, it works for me, they smell very creamy. And if they don't, they smell a little bit screechy, like the Lancome musk. But this has got enough vanilla and enough kind of fruitiness that it's kind of interesting. I think maybe it's the mixture of jasmine and white musk that might be a problem for me in the Lanvin perfumes, because I find jasmine really like screechy and sharp sometimes, and like just generally a bit like over the top and unpleasant. So yeah, maybe that's what it is. But this one I'm really excited to give a full wear test to, because it's definitely very soapy, it's definitely shampooy, it's a little bit powdery, but it's also sweet and fruity and kind of weirdly youthful and fun, even though the bottle would suggest that it's much more grown up, but very lovely. And now, Blue Orchid. So this is the one that I was absolutely sure I was going to like, and I do like it, but this one's also kind of, was about to say it's interesting, but that's rubbish. It's not interesting because it really reminds me of two other things. Okay, let me just spray this out. Now, okay. So again, I've tested on my skin. I kind of fell in love with it a little bit. Oh, beautiful colour again. So when this is on me, there were two things that it made me think of. Both of which are things that smell like other much more expensive perfumes. So, oh yeah, there it comes. It comes in. It is much sweeter than I was expecting it to be. So this is top notes of lemon and apple, middle notes of iris and orchid, base notes musk and tonka bean. And I just didn't think there was any way that this could go wrong for me with those notes, because I love apple, I love lemon. This is a green apple they've got as well. I love iris. I often really like orchid. I like musk, like I said, if it's done in a way I enjoy it, and I love tonka bean. So there wasn't anything in here that was going to alarm me. There was nothing that I was a bit worried about. I really do like this. I think it's the easiest one of these three. I think it's the kind of most mass appealing. Reason being, I sprayed this on my skin and I was like, what does this make me think of? What it makes me think of? Oh, two things. The sweetness in this is way, way sweeter than I was expecting, and it reminds me of Guess Seductive Red. It doesn't smell like cherries, but it has that same kind of profile. Now that has the profile of a non-medicinal or less medicinal Baccarat Rouge 540, and also that kind of cloud DNA, you know, that really sweet, slightly syrupy, but really recognizable like BR40 smell. But it doesn't have that kind of bandages or, you know, dentist office, or, you know, it doesn't have that element to it. But there's also something in here that's slightly tarry and slightly woody, but not very strong, in the same way that I find that in a lot of Ariana Grande perfumes. I find that there's like a musk in those that leans a little bit tar-like, but just it's normally quite a small amount, except for in Mod Blush, which is all I can smell in that is like a tar smell. But this particular one, this is a subtle version of that. But then the more it dries down, the longer I was wearing it, the more it smelled like my Sarah Jessica Parker Stash Privé, and that is a perfume that smells like a body lotion version of Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. So this, I genuinely think, smells like a light, easy to wear, approachable kind of mashup of Baccarat Rouge and Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. Now, lots of people have said that this smells like Chanel Chance Eau Tendre. But I don't think anyone else has compared it to Baccarat Rouge. So that could be me being insane. I'd be really interested to know if any of you guys watching this have this, or if you have smelt it. Yeah, there's it's that kind of just very sweet cloud-like profile that's got that fruitiness. It's super pretty though, and I can see there is also something of the kind of modern princess to this, but with like iris and green apple rather than freesia and red apple. So this is the most Lanvin smelling of all of these. So I really do like this one, and I'm really looking forward to wearing the Blue Orchid. I think they're beautiful bottles. They're absolute bargains. If you're as fussy as me, then I think maybe this one is the safest. If you're not as fussy as me, then they're probably all quite safe. I would say this one smells like the Lanvins I've already got. I smell this one and I can recognise the Lanvin DNA from the ones that I like. This one, I think, you know, this could be a Jennifer Lopez perfume, like one of her kind of clean, soapy, white florally kind of perfumes. This one might in a way be the most risky, because although I'm kind of in love with it, it is quite weird. It starts off in one place and ends up in another, and I think unless you know you kind of like really soapy so for instance, like if you like if you like the kind of fizzy, effervescent, slightly unusual smell of Signature by Mont Blanc, and if you like that, if you like the oranginess of that and the kind of clean muskiness of that, and not just the kind of vanilla-y creaminess of that, then you might like something like this. But it's definitely, I would say, this is the most risky one. This one's relatively safe, but I think this is the most mass appealing, I would say. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to have these. It's really fun, and I do like Lanvin. I love the bottles. So although I'm probably going to pass this one on, I think these two are staying with me, and I'm definitely going to be doing some full wear tests of these.